Hello my dear HRs, welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing what's the difference between a traditional HR and a modern HR. By modern HR, I mean the HR that we see in today's time, in today's generation. So by the end of this video, you will have a fair understanding of what the HR of modern times looks like, and then you can decide accordingly if you want to pursue HR career or not, and if you want to, then how to be successful in this career. So on that note, let's get started. This video is powered by KR. The very first fundamental difference that you will see is the shift from administrative task to strategic task. What does this mean? So in earlier times, HR was solely responsible for the administrative task. That means the paperwork, basically when somebody joined, to make sure that their forms are filled, they are kept nicely, and to maintain the files. That was all about HR, and that's how the HR was perceived, that somebody who does the administrative paperwork about the employee files, that's the HR. But now it's not so. The administrative part is a very small part of that entire job role. Now HR is more of a strategic partner. What does that mean? That means that HR helps the management to take better decisions related to employee and the processes and policies. For example, earlier HR had nothing to do with how the employees are onboarded, or if at all they can improve the onboarding experience or not by designing the proper processes and policies around it. Earlier it was just the person is joining, they should fill the paper, the file is closed, the employee is on the floor delivering whatever he or she is supposed to deliver. But now, because the market is so competitive and companies are realizing that how you treat an employee is ultimately going to make all the difference, because companies are fighting for the position of best companies to work for, because there's so much of attrition. So here HR helps management to decide on the process and policies which can help and improve employee experience in the company. For example, how onboarding should be done, how induction should be done, how the overall employee life cycle will be in the company. So HR plays a very important part in taking decisions for all these things, and they have a say in it. Most importantly, they have a say in it. They have the power to take that decision, and management looks forward for their suggestion to improve the processes and policies so that the employees can be retained in the company. Next difference that you'll see is that HR teams now are embracing more and more technology. Earlier, HR job was all manual. Maybe the teams were using a little bit of Excel or advanced Excel, but now companies are spending a lot more on the HR automation tools so that HR teams can work seamlessly, and all the redundant and mundane tasks are automated, and HR team can now focus their time and attention on something which is more important, which involves more human intervention, because ultimately it's all about employee experience. So if there is something which is repetitive, there's a task which is repetitive, then instead of spending hours on doing that task manually, now companies are embracing technology so that those things can be automated and HR team can focus on something that has more value to the company. Next on the list is data-driven decision making. So this also is possible because the companies are embracing more automation tools for HR teams. So in traditional HR, most of the decisions were made on the basis of the feeling, the gut feeling, or basis the experience of the person, what they think like, what would be good for employees, or how they should go about any situations. So all of those decisions were made basis the person's exclusive experience. But now HR teams have their own data. They can track the data that how many employees are leaving from one particular team, in how much time they are leaving, if they were all under the same manager when these people left. So all of this information directs towards something. You can analyze the data from last 3 years, how somebody performed. For example, if the data is showing that there's one particular employee who is consistent in his great performance from the last 3 years, but for some reason his manager never gives his name for promotion. So as a HR, with all that data, you can represent your view, you can intervene and tell the management that this is what data is telling. So I think there is some biasness going on. Now they have something with which they can prove the facts. Rather than just talking, they have the data. They can represent it to the decision makers, to the management, and influence them to take right decisions. And that's what the HRs are for. And that's how HRs are becoming more strategic partners than just administrative partners, because they have all this access to the data and they have time to look into all of these things rather than just being busy in the manual work. So all the HR processes like learning and development, your employee engagement, performance management, all these processes are driven by data, and then that data enables the HR and management to take right decisions. Next on the list is the employee-centric approach. Now, traditional HR treated employees more as just resources who have been hired to do the work. They do the work, they get the salary, and they go home. That was all about it. And why they treated them like that? Because that's what the focus of management was. Now the companies are shifting their focus to being an employee-centric company. They want to show to their employees that the company cares and have the policies which are friendly and beneficial for employees. So here HR comes as a partner to the management who implements all these policies so that the company can show that they are an employee-centric company. So now HR doesn't only focus on the transactional work of the employees, data entry, making sure their insurance is done, all that stuff. They also focus on how they feel inside the company. They care about employee well-being. So accordingly, the policies are made and more processes are added to the system so that employees can feel belonged in the company. HRs make sure that there's enough diversity and the policies are more inclined towards inclusivity and work towards a comfortable work culture where people are happy to work and are happy to stay at for longer. And the next difference on the list is continuous learning and development. Now, very contrary to the popular belief that HR job does not require you to upskill, or once you learn HR, you'll be able to survive with that knowledge throughout your career. Modern HR does not work on that model. If you are not upskilling yourself, you'll be very soon outdated in the market and you might not find yourself in a very successful career stage. I'll give you some examples so that you understand what does it mean. Continuously the technologies are changing, so that means the kind of people a company hires are changing. If you as a HR are not updating yourself with those technologies, are not familiarizing yourself that what those technologies are, how long has been the technology in the market, you'll not be able to have a good hiring process, and then it will show in your performance, which will not be then evaluated as very good. Another example is, because of COVID, a lot of companies are shifting towards hybrid and remote model. As a HR, how you change your existing policies, which were like for people who were coming to office, now all of a sudden nobody is coming to office, or maybe it's a hybrid model, everybody is coming to office on their own chosen day. So how you design your policies or modify them so that they suit the next working model of the company will determine everything. Because here in this situation, if you as a HR do not know, or you do not upgrade yourself with the knowledge how these policies should be implemented to suit a remote workforce, then there's no way around it. You'll not be seen as a successful HR because you failed to create processes and policies that are suitable for the workforce. And that's the work of HR nowadays. It's not about the paperwork or administrative tasks or the transactional tasks. That's a very small part of the job. This is the real part, how you make sure that the processes and policies are flexible, are well aligned with the need of the organization, and are updated continuously as per the market trend. This is the real work of the HR. This is what a modern HR does. So let's quickly summarize all the points that we discussed. The first difference is the shift from being an administrative person to being a strategic partner. Second difference, understanding and using more technology and tools. Number 3, data-driven decision making. Number 4, employee-centric approach. Number 5, continuous learning and development. So guys, that was it. Hope you found the information helpful. If you still have any queries, put them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. With that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the HR destination to be a successful HR, and I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.